Welcome to Biz Alchemy, a podcast about creating a new business paradigm by women, for women. I'm your alchemical host, Jacqueline Atkins, and I'm going to take you on an extraordinary adventure to create a business filled with ease, fun, spaciousness, and abundance. Hustle, be gone. Let's birth a new way. Welcome back. Now, obviously, you want to listen to this episode because you're going to get a checklist and your mind has gone, yes, now I will have a beautiful list of the yin aspects of business and the yang aspects of business, and I can tick them off as I've done them, and I can know that I am being yin in my business. So let me just start by saying, if I could have chosen a font to use for that heading and that font indicated irony, that's the font I would have used. Because I'm sorry to tell you, but there is no checklist about the yin and yang aspects of business. The reason being that it's not black and white. We're talking energy here. It's not black and white. Now, as I've explored this topic further, especially in the last 12 to 18 months, since I started this podcast really, because one of the episodes where I talked about the beach philosophy and I talked about the H aspect of beach was harmony, and I talked about the yin and yang then. And so that's when around that time was when I really started to explore this harmony of yin and yang in business. And when I offer my equinox balance retreats, I talk to the yin and the yang in business, and as we go through the meditations, I make some suggestions about the yin aspects. So I do speak to it, but there's not a line cutting, sort of slicing between the two going, this is yin and this is yang. And I had a beautiful lesson around this at Easter. So at the last minute, I decided to go away on a retreat. I didn't know the people who were holding the retreat. It was a guy and his partner. But I saw what they were offering. I saw the website, and every part of me just went, I want to do that. It was advertised as a silent retreat with yoga and meditation. I'm actually not a big yoga person. It tends to exacerbate my neck problems and headaches and things. So I have to be very gentle with yoga. But there was just something in the way this was presented. It was up in the rainforest a couple of hours away from me. They talked about lots of gentle time, time to read, to walk in nature. And I just thought, oh my gosh, 4 days of silence, being in nature, little bit of meditation, little bit of yoga. It was like, whoa, what's not to love? I've never done a retreat like that before, but I just was getting this resounding yes. So I did it, and it wasn't what I expected. And this is where I want to talk a little bit about the yin and the yang. The couple holding the retreat, beautiful couple, had spent a lot of time in India studying yoga and, the philosophy associated with yoga, and were very immersed in that world. It's not a world that's ever called me. I'm just not drawn to that. I've never been drawn to going to India. I've never been drawn to this philosophy. I'm sure there's been other lifetimes of it, but it's not a part of my experience for this lifetime. So I'm not used to, let's say, the type of structure that they are used to. And on the first night when we could speak and they were outlining the retreat, although we never actually got what the schedule was, but when they were talking about it, they were saying that they were much more relaxed than the way it's sort of taught in India, and would be it would be relaxing. And for me, it was anything but relaxing. So first day, we're in silence, 7 a.m. meditation, 8 a.m. breakfast, 9 a.m. meditation, 10 o'clock teaching, 11 o'clock yoga, blah, 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 all day until 8:30 at night. And there was one till 3 in the afternoon was free time. So on that first day, by late morning, I had a headache. And by the evening, I had a full-on migraine. Oh my gosh, just the yangness of that structure, of that schedule, when I have created my entire life and business to have flow around all my appointments, around everything I do, it was so yang for me, and that's the way I reacted. And so I hardly slept that night. I couldn't go to anything the next morning. I had to stay in bed and sleep. I had to take my yin time forcibly just to bring myself back into some sort of balance. And then even the second day, that afternoon, I had to take it very slowly, didn't do any yoga. And by the third day, I was feeling replenished and was able to complete the day. And the fourth day was a half day. And what they did in the fourth day was a nature meditation walk down to a waterfall. That nurtured me. It filled me. It felt yin to me. So the thing I realized from this is someone else's yin could be your yang. Okay, this is why I realized there's not a list. The couple holding the retreat were talking a lot to the yin and yang and talking about all this yin time we were having because we were meditating. Now, the meditation techniques were different to what I would use. There was a breathing one connecting the heart and the crown, and there was a mantra one calling in the energy of Tara, the consciousness Tara. And you were just saying the mantra internally. They're not really my style of meditating. I meditate when I walk. I am a nature walker meditator. That's my way. That's where my inspiration comes through. That's where I feel connection. I am not a sitting meditator. And I've embraced myself around that now. And I can sit for 10 minutes and just be in the stillness, yes, but not an hour doing that. It's just not my way. I end up feeling almost more disconnected when I do that. So yeah, they felt that they were offering this amazing yin time. And even the yoga and the way it was taught, it was about going within and being a part of the energy, connecting to the energies. And it was beautifully taught. But for me, I still felt like it was quite yang. So even though I was still and I was in silence, it felt like the effort required to do the meditation made what should be a very yin experience quite yang for me, and the same with the yoga. So I actually felt quite exhausted by the whole thing rather than nurtured by it. And yet the couple running the retreat would have been like, this is like the most yin experience you could have. And I'll just share with you briefly when I was, I think it was by the third day when I was doing the meditation calling in Tara, because we were doing that every day. And we were using this particular mantra, just a single word mantra. And we were taught how you have the sort of ringing sound in your ears, which is your connection to the cosmic sound, let's say. That's the channel through which, if I'm hearing insights using my clairaudience, it comes in through that channel. Well, we were taught that after using the mantra for a while, once that energy of Tara is around, that sound changes. It becomes a sort of a higher vibration. And that's what we were moving ourselves into a state to receive. So on the Sunday morning, I start doing the mantra in my head. I go for about 5 minutes and then I'm bored. And I can confess this to you. And then a part of me just went, for God's sake, why don't I just do this my way? Which is like, can't I just call Tara in instead of going through this whole process? Because it felt so yang for me to be putting out this mantra. And I know for some people it's their way. Oh, perfect. It's just not mine. So I just go, Tara, can you just come in? And the next thing, boom, the sound in my ear changes. I was very aware of this presence, of her presence. I could feel her all around me. I could feel the grace of her energy, the sort of purity, the bit of the Divine Mother type energy. I could feel it around me straight away. No mantra needed. And then she started to talk to me and I'm like, okay. So she gave me some great guidance, especially about something I'm going to talk with you about today. And so I sat in the meditation, nice and blissful, having a nice chat with Tara. I didn't need to do the mantra. I found my way. I found my way to be in the yin energy. So I'm not saying that other people didn't use the mantra and find that yin space and that connection of consciousness. It just wasn't my way. So I found my yin. And then likewise, when we went on that walk in nature, as soon as I touched a tree, I was there. I was interconnected with nature. I was so present, like way more present than sitting there focusing on my breath, breathing into my heart and so on. So it was really powerful for me to recognize my yin, to recognize that that structure exhausted me. The structure of the schedule exhausted me because there was no flow in it. So it was such a gift in so many ways, because I think prior to that, I felt that I could categorize the yin and yang in business. I could say to you, here's your checklist of yin things, here's your checklist of yang things. And suddenly this taught me that someone else's yin could be my yang. And so then we want to go down to the very basic definition of what it is. When you are in yin, you are receiving energy in. That's what yin is, receiving energy in. Yang is giving energy out. And so if you are wondering what in your business is yin and what in your business is yang, just sit with that. Am I receiving energy in here? If so, that's a yin activity. Am I giving energy out? That's a yang activity. So it's an internal journey to find your checklist. And you know what? It might change. As you evolve, so might your checklist. So isn't it strange that we female entrepreneurs struggle so much with receiving when we are foundationally yin beings? We've forgotten how to receive. And I see this in my clients time and time again. So whether that is receiving income, whether that is receiving heart-connected clients who happily and easily pay us, whether it's about receiving support in our business, support at home, emotional support, practical support, whether it is about receiving the gifts of nature, by putting our hands in the soil, our feet on the sand, hugging a tree, the sun on our face, however we can receive from nature. And what is vitally important that so many of us are unable to receive is intuitive guidance in all its forms. Through your interconnection with all things, you are receiving guidance through many, many different channels. Always. But do you receive it? And I know and I understand that for many of us, one or all of these things can be challenging. Why? Because we haven't learned to receive. And this is why I have created a new space to help you receive, so you can embrace more yin in your life and business. The receiving channel opens on Patreon on Sunday, May the 1st. Actually, for many of you, it'll be Saturday, April 30th, but it's early Sunday morning here because I am opening it at exactly the time of the new moon, which is at 6:28 a.m. here in Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's a Taurus new moon. I'm very connected with that energy because I am a Taurian sun sign. My birthday is actually a week after, on the 8th. So I feel excited about it. It's a bit like a birthday gift to myself, actually, starting this Patreon channel. I am really, really excited about it. It is about receiving. And you don't have to be a female entrepreneur to be a part of this. This is accessible for everyone. I am sure that every entrepreneur, female or male, will be excited to be a part of it, will benefit from it. But this is about us as human beings moving into our receptive nature. Now, I'll just talk a little bit about this now, just to get you excited. There'll be 3 channels of receiving and 3 ways you can be my patron on this Patreon channel. And the first way will be a payment of $4 a month, for Australian dollars, that is. This is for those of you who listen to my podcasts, listen to my Insight Timer meditations, come to my lives, receive all my free content, and would love to be able to exchange for that. And so this will be a monthly contribution of $4 a month. The second channel is $14 a month. I'm excited about this one. We're going to have 2 live meditations a month, and they will always be focused on receiving, but a different aspect of receiving. So that's my plan, is to do 2 a month. They will be at different times, but they'll be recorded and they'll be uploaded. So if you can't go to them, you can still then just listen to it and still have the power of the meditation. I might include some other little bits and pieces in this one. I'm just going to wait and see. I'm going to start, see how it's flowing, and let inspiration guide me, as I always do. And then I will have another channel, which is $44 a month. And so this includes those meditations. It will include access to the course I ran in February this year, The Alchemy of Receiving, and the activations that came from that. And it will also include a little personal activation that you will receive from me every month. It'll just be a few minutes, but it will be very specific to you and activating your receiving for the month. And this channel obviously has limited numbers because I can't have too many people that I'm offering that to. So this will be limited to 22 people. So that's at $44 a month. So that is how I'm starting the channel. Now, if you've been following me for long enough, you know I like to change things around pretty regularly. It's a part of my nature. It's a part of what keeps me inspired and evolving. So this is how I'm starting it, but this will be a place for me to play and share whatever I wish to share. This is a place for me to move more into my channeling energy, hence the name, The Receiving Channel. And bring parts of myself that maybe I don't bring into my business energy work so much. It's really going to allow me to immerse myself in my woo fully. So it'd be pretty awesome if you could join me there. I'm really, really excited about the Receiving Channel. As I said, it will be available from May the 1st. But if you want to be the first to get in, make sure you're on my newsletter list, jacquelineatkins.com/newsletter. I'll be sending out an email right at the time it opens so you can be the first to come in and join me. And I'll hold our first meditation that week straight after. So we can really start to create the energy of the channel. Oh, I love new things. This will be so much fun. And I'd really love you to come on the journey with me. Now, in the meantime, if you would like sort of a more personal activation, a full chakra activation of the receiving energies and opening yourself to the receiving energies, I do have a 30-minute personal session that you can book through my website, jacquelineatkins.com. It's called the Activate Your Receiving session. It is a very, very powerful journey. It's $111 to book that session. You get a recording, and so you can listen to it over and over again. It really does activate your energy body to bring you into a whole new consciousness around receiving. So I hope you are ready to explore your personal yin-yang list. Now you've heard me discuss this topic a little bit more, and hopefully you have a better understanding of the yin and the yang, how it differs between individuals, and what it, that basic understanding of what it actually means in terms of the flow of energy. So until next time, have an alchemical week in your biz. Thanks for listening to Biz Alchemy. I'm Jacqueline Atkins. If you'd love to know more about the energy of business, subscribe to my newsletter at jacquelineatkins.com/newsletter and join me on Insight Timer, where I have a large meditation library and do regular live classes. Until next time, enjoy creating alchemy in your biz.